All month long, we are diet layering, giving you the best of the best from all the diet plans out there. And it starts with a base layer, our 28-day Shrink Your Stomach Challenge. One of the biggest concepts in the challenge is a 12-hour fast, a modified form of intermittent fasting, based on groundbreaking research showing fasting as the key to unlocking rapid and long-term weight loss. But more extreme versions of intermittent fasting are creating waves in the diet world because they actually instruct you to skip meals for a day or more at a time. The theory behind this controversial diet: during a fast, you severely restrict calories, forcing your body to burn through the fat it has stored up. Critics claim the science is not strong enough to justify fasting, but new research suggests you can lose weight, improve blood sugar, and reduce inflammation. The man leading the charge, physician turned journalist, Dr. Michael Mosley. Seeking to improve his own health, Dr. Mosley began researching and practicing intermittent fasting, writing about it in the international bestseller, The Fast Diet. So is Mosley right? Have you been dieting all wrong? And is strict calorie restriction healthier than we ever believed? Or is this just another fad starvation diet? Today, Dr. Michael Mosley reveals why he says using his intermittent fasting plan can transform your health. Dr. Mosley joins us. So, how did your own personal health crisis catalyze you to become a leader in this movement?
Well, it was about 4 years ago, and I went off to see my doctor, and she took a blood sample, and she rang me up later to say, I have very bad news for you. You are now a type 2 diabetic, and we need to start you on medication. So I was advised to go on the standard, low-fat diet and do more exercise, but it didn't make any difference. And so I went out to find something that would really make a difference. And I came across intermittent fasting, which I had never heard of before. But I discovered there was a huge body of research.
And this is a part that's perplexing to me. We don't learn about this in medical school as doctors. Nutritionists are often taught in classes information that sometimes is outdated, and it's often hard to do these studies. So when you actually have a personal problem, you become the world expert on it, at least for yourself. Come on over here. I want you to show everybody the fundamental insight here. And I think it partly explains your passion for fasting. So I built two bodies here, right? This is the fasting body. You'll cover that in 1 second. I'm going to start with the feasting body, which is actually what we do normally when we live our lives. And your body operates completely differently when it is feasting versus when it's fasting. This red represents the fat that you want to lose, right? You don't want any red. Most of you in this room, most people watching at home, don't want all the red they have in their body. This represents the meal that you're about to eat, right? The meal that you're about to eat, the meal you just ate, changes everything inside your body. So I'm feasting. The meal that I just ate goes into my body, and notice what happens. It begins quickly to become the first line of calorie consumption. So if I begin to exercise and I start to get rid of some calories, I burn away the blue before I get to the red that I wanted to get rid of. Sometimes I don't get rid of it all. I'm always amazed when I see people working out at the gym. They're so dutiful about it, but they've got some energy drink next to them that has, 300 calories in it, right? They'll never burn through those calories to ever get anywhere past. Now, you argue when you fast and you don't eat anything before you exercise, what goes on?
And that can be just, say, 12 hours. What happens is that you've no longer got the food in your system, so you instead, basically, what you burn through is the fat. Fat is like, money in the bank account. Your body doesn't use it. If you've got money in your wallet, you'll use that instead. But when you have all that fat stores, they do not get burnt until you've kind of got rid of the other stuff.
So remember this. You want to look like this, or do you want to look like this? That's the basic equation that Dr. Mosley is arguing for. Come on over here.
Absolutely.
Now, in your quest and your passion for this, you've turned a lot of conventional medical wisdom on its head.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk, if I can, with you about 3 arguments you've picked with the medical establishment. 3 areas where you just think we don't have it right with dieting. And we've actually talked about it on the show, some of these things. The first point you argue is that when we say you got to eat breakfast to lose weight. Y'all, who's heard that before, right? I mean, literally everybody in the audience has said that. So why do you think that is wrong?
It's really strange because there was an article in the New England Journal of Medicine, which is the most prestigious medical journal in the world, and they got hold of the US's top obesity specialists, and they said, what are the myths? And number 1 myth was you have to eat breakfast to lose weight. They said it is a myth. what they did is they took a large group of people, some of whom ate breakfast, some of whom didn't, and they got them to swap habits. So the people who didn't eat breakfast started eating breakfast and the other way around, and it made absolutely no difference whatsoever to weight loss.
Second big myth, if you eat too little, your body will go into starvation mode and slow down your metabolism, so you will plateau.
Yeah.
This may be the biggest weight loss myth of all.
Yes, it is absolute myth, and it's based on a study done in the US in the 1940s where they got people to live on potato and turnips for about 6 months, and when their body fat went down really low, then they went into starvation mode. But they did a study recently where they got people to live in a metabolic chamber where they could measure exactly what was happening to their metabolic rate. And they found that when they put them on a water diet for 5 days, their metabolic rates increased. Basically, they were burning more calories when they were not eating than when they had been eating.
Well, why would that be? Why would the body not try to protect itself?
Well, one of the reasons is that, and they measured it, was that their bodies were producing more adrenaline. And adrenaline burns fat. And we know that. If you go exercising, one of the things that happens is it pumps up your adrenaline levels. That helps burn fat. But adrenaline, noradrenaline, you call it epinephrine.
Epinephrine, yeah.
Basically, it's a hormone your body produces, and it is a real fat burner. And it is exacerbated by fasting, because fasting is slightly stressful. It's like exercise is a bit stressful. You know, you're going to feel it. But as I said, your body responds by really digging into those fat stores.
It's interesting. If you think about it, if 1,000 years ago we were starving,
yeah,
your body would tell you to get out there and get some food.
Absolutely.
So it might stimulate your metabolism so you'd have the energy to go find some prey so you wouldn't keep starving.
It's completely bonkers, isn't it, when you think of it? If you're in a cave and you haven't got any food, if your metabolic rate slows down and you just sort of lie on the floor and you wait for pizza to be delivered, you're going to go extinct. That's when you have to be really active and smart and clever, is when you don't have calories. You've got to go out there and search for them.
Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new.